ready?
Not be
Miss,
excused, Judge.
yes, ma'am. Thank you
It
very
looks
much.
like she's asleep.
Thank you, Andrew. Or
You're welcome.
Yannicka Johnson Gilmore.
She's muted.
You are muted, ma'am. You need to unmute.
Yes,
There
sir.
you go. Thank you, ma'am. All right. Ms. Johnson Gilmore, would you please raise your right hand? You solemnly swear that in this proceeding, the information and responses you submit will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I do.
Thank you. You may put your hand down. All right. Ms. Johnson Gilmore, is that the way you are known as Johnson Gilmore, or do you shorten it?
Johnson.
Ms. Johnson. All right. With your permission, then I'll refer to you in this proceeding, although the paperwork will probably be Johnson Gilmore. Is that correct, Mr. Edelman?
Yes, sir.
All right. I will refer to you as Johnson, understanding that you're responding to that your official name is Johnson Gilmore. Is that okay? Do I have your permission to do that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Did you hear what we discussed with Mr. Johnson?
Yes, sir.
All right. We're going to do the same thing with you. We're going to talk about rights and constitutional protections. I need you to be aware of what they are. We're going to talk about it, and then we're going to show them to you in writing. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
All right. You were charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated with blood alcohol content of 0.15 or higher. Now, in this proceeding, I need to mention to you, first of all, you always have a right to remain silent unless you give up that right. In order to do a plea, you're going to give up that right. You have a right to a jury trial. 6 people from the community selected to hear the evidence and decide whether you're guilty or not guilty. You also have a right. Are you okay, ma'am?
Yes, sir.
All right. You also have a right to have this hearing in public courtroom. That public courtroom is not available because of the COVID pandemic. So we're doing this by video conference. You and the state, the prosecutors, have the right to have this in the public courtroom. You could demand that. You also have a right called the right to appeal. That's where you and your attorney would demand, in a proper fashion with the right papers and time, you demand that a higher court review the official proceeding and the results of it for whatever challenge you wanted to make. All of these rights you give up. You give up those rights if you're doing a plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. You also, let's see, those rights, are you giving them up freely and voluntarily in order to do this plea? Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Are you giving these rights up freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now we're going to show you some papers, and a lot of them are going to repeat what we just talked about verbally, but they'll be in writing. Have you reviewed all the paperwork with your attorney, either Mr. Ivan Barrera or Ms. Brittany Sparks?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, the first document I'm showing you, I mentioned a while ago that both of you have the right to demand this hearing be in public courtroom. Right now, this hearing is being shown on YouTube throughout the world. Whoever wants to tune in on YouTube can watch you, myself, everybody that's involved in this. The state has a right to the public courtroom, but here in this first document, the state is consenting to do video conference instead of having the hearing in a public courtroom. All of these documents, with one exception, are going to have at the top this basic information. Cause number 628029, the state of Texas versus Ionica Thelma Johnson Gilmore, in County Court at Law Number 5, Bexar County, Texas. Now, do you see this document?
Yes, sir.
it says that Andrew Harris Ailman, the Assistant District Attorney, has signed it agreeing that we're going to do this as we're doing by video conference. The next document talks about discovery. There is a law that's called Article 39.14 of the Code of Criminal Procedure. This law requires the state provide to you and your attorney access to all the documents and papers and recordings and everything else, all the evidence, all the information necessary so that you can make a good decision. Do you understand that? Hello? I don't hear you, man. Are you muted or what? What's going on? Can you hear me clearly? All right, for whatever the reason, we cannot hear you right now.
We lost her audio, Judge.
Yeah,
Maybe she can log off and log back on.
Ms. Johnson, would you log off your computer and rejoin us? Talk to me. Okay, log off, leave the meeting and come back in. See if we can reestablish your audio because we cannot hear you. It's dead.
Yes,
I
sir.
can see you, but I can't hear you.
Your Honor, in the meanwhile, may I be excused for a few minutes?
Yes, you may.
Your
Thank you,
Honor,
sir.
Yes, ma'am.
just to remind you, right now at 2:30, the other group is trying to log on to the different meeting IDs for the Spanish interpreter on the other cases for
I
Sergio
understand that.
Sanchez Martinez.
I understand that. They'll have to wait. Let them know that they have to wait.
Well, there's no way for me to tell them. I have to log off this screen to tell them on the other screen, on the other YouTube.
All right.
I'm just gonna ask Linda to let them know. She's not logged on, but
Give
I'll
it a
ask her
try.
to call.
Give it a try. See what we can do.
Miss Johnson's coming back.
Ms. Johnson Gilmore, talk to me. Can you hear me, ma'am?
Hello?
Hello, speak to me. Ms. Johnson, I cannot hear you. Well,
Your Honor, have we re-established contact with Ms. Johnson Gilmore?
no, sir. Mr. Barrera,
Yes, Judge.
Patty, can you leave Mr. Barrera as a host briefly while we go ahead and see if we can handle these other matters?
Well, I was gonna ask you, Judge, if we can just come back with Miss Johnson at 3:30. Because Mr. Barrera was telling me that she works the night shift, so she's had a few hours of sleep.
All right, let's come back at 3:30 then, Mr. Barrera. See if you can work with her and try to resolve the computer glitch that's going on.
Judge, it possible, do you have something around 4? I have a hearing at exactly 3:30 today.
Well, I don't have a problem getting back at 4.
I'll be here all day, sir.
That makes two of us, so. Patricia, let's
Four.
recall it at 4 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All
Okay,
right.
Thank you, Judge.
everybody
Now-
needs to leave.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, I was telling everybody else. Miss Johnson, you need to come back on at 4 o'clock.
All right. Do we do the first number, Patty?
Yes, sir.
954-3142? Okay, then I'm gonna leave this proceeding. Well, I guess we all are. And we're gonna go to the interpreter